Hello everybody and welcome back to the commentary for Chronicles of the Chronicler 3 The Lost World. We're into episode 2 now, which is the Return. Yeah, the Return is... I hesitate right as it comes up on screen.
I did what I had
all the titles of the episodes, with the exception of the last episode, all begin with either an R or an S. So you had the Rise, the Return, the Search, the Ruin, the Stand, and then the Fall. Common with all 6 episodes of the season are they're all 2 words, and the first word is always the. So that was a bit of a different approach to all the rest of them.
Cannot be stopped. The shadow has fallen. Without the Toa, any who resist will be slain. You are the walking dead.
It's no use, Jailer. I've dealt with this son of a Borak before. He won't talk.
With all due respect, Jailer, I'd say
this sequence went on a little longer too in the script because
let him speak, Hookie.
As I think I already did. Yeah, I already released it where Altair has a longer dialogue with Jailer and Takua. And Holly and Nuparu also have lines in the scene, but it got cut because certain things about Altair's personality were supposed to be more comedic, and I didn't feel like the comedy was coming out right, and when it did, I thought it kind of conflicted with the rest of the scenes that they did come out with, so it just had to be left like this. This was the first outdoors scene that was shot in the film. It was, this wasn't in the script either, I don't think. This was... Pretty sure this was entirely improv.
The shield of Chiraga Lycan.
It also, it deals directly with Toa Lycan and / Chiraga Lycan from Bionicle 2 Legends of Metru Nui. The storyline is a little different. It's something that was never exactly explained in any of the 3 films, but there was a storyline that I kind of created myself based off the other storylines, but I changed the order of events like most movie makers do when they adapt things that were based off of other things. They change the order of events because why not? But anyway,
believe me, I feel them too.
It was kind of awkward trying to originally when I was gonna do this scene, I did try to incorporate Metru Nui into it, but then I felt like it was kind of an awkward thing to discuss here. It was trying to explain too much history, so the Metru Nui part got cut. It was just about Toa Lycan, not necessarily about who he was or what he did. I think I did change one line that said Takua says something like "First Toa of Matsunui." That's not really true in the original Bionicle storylines, but I just left it like that. Just
no, not really.
We're getting into another scene and I'm getting distracted, but I think I said what I needed to say in the last thing.
How can we use the unknown powers of the Masker power?
This was the first sequence that I shot after filming was delayed, and I'll probably explain that later on.
This isn't fixed soon.
Because there's another scene in which
I didn't understand
another scene where I plan to explain why production got shut down for this film for an extended period.
One thing we can do.
But this was the first scene that was shot when it picked back up.
Time again and bring the fallen Toa back into our time frame. Is that possible?
This was also the first preview sequence that I released for the film.
What if this doesn't work?
It had Matoro's original voice in it, and it also had the other vocal take for Takua. And I think Kongu's voice was different too, because I thought he was too hard to understand before. I think he said like, what did he say before it? I think he said like, I didn't understand the word he just said. And I changed it to, I didn't understand a word of that. There's an error here. There's no light coming from Liwa's mask. It's because it's actually sideways and it's blue. It's kind of connected to the... You might think it's connected to Gali's mask. It was a rendering error that I did not realize until after the episode was already released.
Total surprise.
You're welcome.
I think the line "You're welcome" was added in later too, because that wasn't in the original preview. Liwa's
Liwa.
Liwa and Pohatu are both played by my friend Carl Moore in this series. And the two voices when he recorded the two voices, the voices ended up being really similar, even though Liwa had an accent. But to differentiate that Liwa and Pohatu were different, I actually added. Well, not added. I increased the pitch of Liwa's voice by like 5 or 10 notches, depending on the sequence and how close he had to speak with Pohatu. So, for the most part, his voice is just sped up to 5 notches. But then when he's directly talking to Pohatu, it's actually raised either 10 to 7. I think there were a couple times where it was at 7 because 10 sounded too high pitched. But when he's talking directly to Pohatu, he has like anywhere between 10 to 7 notches raised in pitch.
And that's how it happened.
That is bad news indeed.
Only Toa have enough power to fight and overthrow Makuta. It's what we did before, but now we need to do it again.
This line appeared in the trailers, but it was from the first recording of Takua's voice, so
the only way
it was something like,
Makuta before was together.
only Toa are powerful enough to fight and overthrow Makuta. It's what we did before, but now we need to do it again. Or I'm sorry, I have.
Brothers, the alternative is
I'm sorry about that.
We must work together
But
and find a way.
the first one didn't have enough emotion, so primarily the second take. And I talked about that in the first commentary, didn't I? I'm sorry, I'm boring you again.
Killed me too, but we must put what happened in the past back where it
Lauren
belongs,
Murphy
in
is
the
the one who
Only
voices
together do we
Gali
have a
in
fighting
the season.
chance. I'm more than willing to give Pohatu
She is
another
a
chance.
friend of Carl's who's been in several of his films. I've worked with her in a couple of his films too, so I knew she could pull off being Gali, and she could pull off Gali's authority.
Shut up, Anua.
And Frank Bedore plays Tahu. He was a last-minute casting addition too, because he came with Shannon when she came to do her voiceover for Holly. And I offered him the chance to do a voice too, and he asked if he could do Tahu. So I let him do it. Tahu, again, just like Akmu, was meant to be voiced by Carl, but that didn't happen, obviously. Actually, I like Frank's voice for Tahu. I think Frank did a really good job. And I'm not saying anything against Carl here, but I think Frank probably would have...
No, you don't.
I think Frank did a better job for Tahu than Carl probably did, or would have done.
Think, Onua. It's our duty to defend the Matoran. It's our purpose.
There was one thing I noticed when I didn't notice when I was writing the script, or even when I was reading the script, just to fix things and stuff like that. But when Lauren was recording Gali's voice, then I started noticing that Gali really reiterates things an awful lot. She says something and then she'll say it again, and then she'll say it again, and then she'll say it again, and a few scenes later she'll be saying it again.
Good idea. Onua, Jaller, Matoro.
I mean, it kind of still works, but
Uki, Holly,
it annoyed me that I didn't pick up on that.
Yuparu, Kangu, Pohatu, I want you to remain here in case Tahu or Kopaka come back. I must go back to Takoro and inform everybody of what's happening.
Hey, be careful, okay?
Don't worry, Jaller. I'll be fine.
And that concludes the commentary for episode 2. So I'll see you next time when I do the commentary for episode 3, The Search. I almost said episode 3 was The Rise. We just watched The Rise. See you next time.